Let's take a look at the Atlanta Falcons passing game. We're going to start off here with a shovel pass, which is a scheme play. You're not going to blame Desmond Ridder too much post-snap about the fact that he pitches this to Robinson and the edge defender gets penetration and stuffs Robinson in the backfield. But if Desmond Ridder has any pre-snap abilities to change plays, get in and out of plays, then you have some questions for him here. And if you have a veteran quarterback, you would expect him to get out of this play, because even though the box count is essentially a 4-on-4 if you count, or really a 5-on-4 if you count Ritter, the back, the tackle, the guard, and the center against the nose tackle, the edge defender, and then these two defenders outside the edge defender, the defensive end, you know, you're looking at a 5-on-4 advantage. But if you really analyze this a little bit more, really the guys who are going to be involved in this play from Ritter's standpoint to the outside, you basically have an edge defender, a linebacker, and a second defender here. So you have 3 defenders really on 2 players who are going to be able to affect this area for Bijan Robinson, and that just doesn't look good. This is one of those plays that you'd want to get out of. So part of this is Desmond Ridder is probably not yet at the level of play where the offense is giving him responsibility to get in and out of some of these plays. This is another example of that. You're going to see again Robinson. They're going to have this little fly sweep, jet sweep concept here, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders where the ball is going to be going, and essentially you have 1, 2, 3 blockers, maybe 4 here. So it's a 4-on-4, but the way it's developed, you know, one of your blockers is coming from the inside out on a linebacker. He's not going to be able to get to there. So schematically, this just kind of gets outflanked, and you look at it from a box perspective, and you think if you're going to have 1, 2, 3 players who are immediately out on the edge, and you have 4 defenders who are already out on the edge, you're at a disadvantage unless you have an interior blocker who can get to his spot quick enough, and you're just not seeing that. They're counting on Bijan Robinson's speed probably a little too much here, and it doesn't work out. So again, this is a play that I would have, you know, if Desmond Ridder were a veteran, you would want to see this checked to something else. Wasted red zone play. What's funny is then when you get to this red zone play that ends up being a touchdown for Robinson, still he's throwing a ball where you've basically got a 1-on-1 against the defender. You count on Robinson to make that man miss, but it's a pretty dicey play. This should have gone for a loss when you take a look at it from the perspective of, again, 1, 2, 3 people wide open here on the defensive side to the area where Robinson's going to get the ball. Now, 1 ends up coming off the edge, but you still have 2 here. He's got to beat 2 to get some significant yardage. There's no one blocking downhill here for him other than our outside defender, outside player Pitts on 1 guy. So it's really a 2-on-3 situation. Where the ball's led, it's a 2-on-3 situation. Not ideal. And Robinson turns lemons into lemonade. So again, schematically, not great. On top of that, for the situation, on top of that, can Ritter check out of these plays? Again, 3 plays to begin the game where you wonder if he can even check out of the play. So Ritter being young, pre-snap diagnosis doesn't seem to be a big thing with his game, because when you watch this, you have Bijan Robinson one side, you have Drake London on the left, where he plays a lot, and Ritter throws a lot to the right of the field usually. So that's another topic in terms of London not getting a lot of targets. He's playing on the side of the field that Ritter doesn't go to a lot. He drops the ball here, should have caught it, maximized opportunity, but at the same time, Ritter should have read this corner right here, playing off and to the outside, you know, outside shade of London. You also have your safety playing deep, and then you have a defender who looks like he's going to be covering Robinson 1-on-1 because he follows the motion here, the shift. And when he follows the motion, what you should look at here is, you know, this is a 1-on-1. This defender's going to play off. This defender's going to play off. And you should be throwing this to Robinson, because look, once he comes off that read to Robinson very quickly. But right here, he should see that pre-snap and see this and say, let me just hit Robinson. hit Robinson in stride right here and lead him, and he beats his cornerback, and he's off to the races. Instead, he takes the throw that really isn't the best one for the situation. Here's another example of Desmond Ridder just not reading pre-snap what he should be doing, and as a result, he ends up taking has a rush for no gain, but it's essentially a sack back here. Okay, should have been a completed pass to Kyle Pitts, because watch Kyle Pitts work the out right here, the short out. This is where Ritter should have thrown. Why? Because when you look at it pre-snap, he's preoccupied with what's going on to the left side pre-snap, but right, he should be noticing that he has a defensive back playing outside shade. And to this side of the field, you have more defenders inside here. You've got 3 who are factoring outside to the right, maybe 4. You've got really 2 who are factoring against 2. 2 on 2, 3 on 2. Not loving that. Really 4 on 3 if you count this defender and the back. Okay? But if he looks here. He should be reading right here. This defender's playing outside, but he's got his chest facing inside. And then the chest turns inside right here. He should read that and go, I'm hitting the out all day to my man Kyle Pitts. Just take the short gain. 2nd and 10, get yourself into like a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5, maybe 3rd and 4. He may break a tackle, especially with the one-on-one here, and get more yardage. Instead, no gain. So again, leverage reading. Scheme this up just fine. You're going to see a nice little hole for Matt Collins against the against the cushion here. This time Ritter sees that cushion and goes to Hollins. But him and Hollins are not quite on the same page. He throws this ball leading Hollins a little bit, and Hollins has to, work towards a defender instead of maybe making the catch right here, right on his numbers, and then be able to turn upfield a little bit with a sharper angle downhill instead of working towards that linebacker. Again, it's refining the placement here. And this is a theme also with Ritter, is that his placement hasn't been great, and he and Hollins may not be comfortable with the route either in terms of where you want that to break. He was expecting to lead him a little bit more. Hollins expecting to settle here. I think Hollins was probably more correct on that play. Very next play, we're talking pass placement once again, and Drake London's not on the field here. It's Hollins, and then you have your man Pitts. Play action pass, 2-man route combination with the 3rd leaking out here. He sees Hollins wide open in this area. Plenty of time to step into this throw, and he leads Hollins, or places it really not on Hollins' numbers, forces Hollins to make an adjustment that he shouldn't have to make. So again, we're looking at pass placement, even on a wide open throw. Talking about simple solutions. The top quarterbacks find simple solutions. And this is a 1st and 10 play. You've got Drake London on the left side, coverage playing inside shade. He's over top. He can squat on this route. On the right-hand side, though, you've got 2 defenders playing well off, and you know that Kyle Pitts is running a short route here. Just take the easy money. Take the easy money. He drops back looking for London. He should see this squatting right here and immediately turn and throw this to Pitts. That's the play. Instead, he hangs in there with a hitch, brings the ball back, just waiting, and ends up getting sacked. Meanwhile, look, Pitts. Pitts is wide open. Pitts is wide open here. He's wide open here. He's wide open here especially, but that's more influenced because of the fact that Ritter waited so long. But pre-snap should have seen this. If he wanted to take a chance on London, here's the point where you say, nope, turn, throw to Pitts. Okay, again, it's 1st down. Easy money throw to Pitts. Right here, watch him. Drop right here. You've got 2 defenders playing off, 2 more deep. Pitts is trailing your middle receiver. He's going to settle underneath that middle receiver right here. Get the ball out. See that. Know that you're going to have that open. Easy money. Instead, doesn't want the easy money. He wants to throw it further downfield. He wants another route. He doesn't look for it. He's hanging on maybe to the route with Hollins a little bit too long. Should have identified this route here inside. Seen the coverage pre-snap. Didn't move much post-snap. Understand that's the throw. Instead, ends up sacked. I've always had some questions about Desmond Ridder as a field reader, and you're going to see it here. Kyle Pitts working across the middle, decides to make this throw. What looks open to you about this throw? You've got a defender playing underneath. You got a defender over the top to the inside, inside, outside, high, low. Unless you're placing this high and behind Pitts, and it's high and towards the defender, this should not have been thrown. I mean, even as he's reading this from the red zone side, look at this. That's not open. Why he's throwing it there, especially with the pass placement, trying to get it over the defender, too risky. Throw it high and behind if you're going to do that. So finally gets the memo third quarter here. You're going to see soft coverage up top here. You've got a defender coming. Once you read that blitz, there it is, Pitts, all the way to Pitts. And he gets the ball. Even the placement isn't great on that throw, but it's enough that Pitts can make the adjustment and get the first down. And this is late in the third quarter. I think a minute left in the third quarter. Gets the memo here. Soft coverage, take the easy money. The blitz had to kind of necessitate that for him. But here's the crazy thing. You have the same play again. Same play again. And he comes off of it. Look at it. Defender comes off. Easy money. Looks at it. 1st and 10. Take it. If they're giving it to you, take it. Doesn't take it. Ends up having to look to his third read. At least he can go to a third read, but hasn't done that a lot. But saw that London was covered. Ends up to Algier with that little check down. That's a nice play after the fact. But this was the play. Just take it. Too impatient with these. He doesn't want to dink and dunk. And he should dink and dunk. This isn't open for him. Good adjustment. Fine. That's good. But if the defense gives it to you, take it until they make it stop. Try and stop it, and then you can counter. Here's a scenario where Ritter just doesn't come off the read fast enough. You're going to see the play action pass. It's a two-man downfield route with London and Pitts. And they're both breaking basically to the inside at different levels. He reads the middle of that field. He's waiting on that void. At this point, he should see the defensive triangle and see the coverage here. And especially with this defender, this fourth defender right here, that Pitts isn't coming open. London isn't going to be coming open. And he should check down to Tyler Algier. And he does. But Algier gets, no gain. Why is that? Not Algier. It's Ritter. Because top of his drop right here, he should wait maybe another beat. Okay? And when I say beat, maybe like one hitch worth of movement from the quarterback. Because right there, he should look at this and go, this isn't breaking open. Nobody's coming open here. Don't worry about it. Turn and throw. That gives Algier room with these two defenders who are going to work to the flat to actually get yardage before they arrive. Maybe even beat one of them and then break the tackle of the other. And then he has a huge gain. Give your back a chance. Instead, one hitch doesn't turn. Second hitch doesn't turn. These aren't open. They weren't open 2 hitches ago. Third, now he's got to work. He works out to the outside to get position, and now he's going to finally throw after a few steps. By this time, that defender from the inside has great position to make the tackle by the time, Algier gets the ball. Look at it one more time. Just all the way through. Because this is just Ritter taking too much time, not understanding what he sees here. It's done. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Too late. Really took till the end of the third quarter for Ritter to realize that if you've got soft coverage playing outside like this, that maybe you take some of these outs underneath and take that immediately. Now it's the fourth quarter, and he does it, and it's good, but the placement isn't behind the player. Matt Collins ends up in a situation where he has to catch the ball and take contact rather than be able to make the catch and turn upfield or have more room to turn upfield. And then we end here with a pass to Kyle Pitts playing it to the right side. He gets separation right here. Ritter sees that separation. Got a safety over the top though. Defender's playing under because he knows he's got that safety. So right here, you're looking at this, and this isn't really a great decision to throw this ball. He's forcing this ball. He's counting on Pitts to make a big play. And Pitts has that in him, obviously. So, on the one hand, you kind of like that he's going to be aggressive. He underthrows this ball a bit. Pitts is able to undercut and make the catch. But I don't think that this was meant to be an underthrow. I just think that it was underthrown, and Pitts makes a great play on it, especially with what you've seen with his pass placement thus far in this game. You kind of can't give Desmond Ridder the benefit of the doubt right now. So overall, when you look at Desmond Ritter's game, this doesn't bode well if you're a fantasy player. Drake London playing on the left side of the field when they throw a lot to the right, or at least Ritter looks a lot to his right and doesn't have either time to come back to his left or hangs on to his reads too long. That's an issue. Pitts, he's getting some targets, but they're not going downfield a lot. And when they do, the leverage reads aren't reliable on Ritter's end. So from a fantasy perspective, the two big weapons in the passing game, I wouldn't count on them this year unless we see major differences in Ritter's development trajectory as the season goes on, because he's not reading the field quickly enough. He's not coming off his reads quickly enough, or he's coming off them too quickly. So just understand that comes down to not reading the leverage accurately. So, not a great start for Atlanta's passing game, even though Ritter's box score stats, accuracy-wise, look good. Even the placement wasn't great. This is, not a great sign. The running game looks fantastic. If Ritter can figure it out, Atlanta could be a much better team than what it looks right now. But it's really resting on Desmond Ridder.